everybody, welcome to Michelle's Stampin' Craft Corner. Today I'm going to be showing you the August 2024 Time for Cake Paper Pumpkin. And this is what it looks like. So Paper Pumpkin is a monthly subscription. It comes to your right to your mailbox. Comes in this bright orange-ish colored box. It's about $25, I believe now, with, including shipping and everything. And Paper Pumpkin comes with everything you're going to need, okay? It comes with the ink. It comes with the adhesive. You can see I've already started using some of these, okay? And it comes with all the cutouts and punch-outs and everything that you need. And I actually already kind of sorted everything out because, a little disclaimer, this is my third attempt at this video. The first one, I got a phone call, which knocked me off line or whatever you want to say. The second one that I recorded was completely black. The screen was completely black. You couldn't see a thing. So we're going to go with third time's the charm, and hopefully this one will work for us. Okay. So as we get started, I am going to apologize because one of the cards I made 3 times and I don't have more material to show you how to do it. So I'm just going to walk you through it. But Stampin' Up! Comes with all those materials, including this instruction sheet. It's full color and it shows you step by step how to do everything. So the 3 cards that you're going to be making with me today are this happy birthday one, which is unfortunately the card that I've made 3 times, so I don't have one to demo with you. This one, which says, "Hooray, it's time for cake." And this one that says, "Make a wish." So those are the 3 cards that we'll be making today. Okay. Make sure you can see those in the camera. All right, so let's get started. So let's start with the card that I can't make with you, but I can show you how I made it. So Stampin' Up! Comes, like I said, with everything that you need. And it comes, this card kit is 3 cards and you'll make 3 of each card. So it comes with a card base, which is this, which is already pre-scored. So you're just going to fold it and give it a good crease with your fingers or a bone folder. So we started out with this one. Now this one consisted of this card base, this kind of pinkish color card base, this white piece, which everything was stamped on except these blue balloons. So Stampin' Up! Is going to tell you exactly what to do and how to do it. So you can see the blue balloons and where to stamp them. So that's what I did. Okay. Then it tells me to stamp the happy birthday on the banner. And again, these were pre-punched pieces. Here's the happy birthday. Then it comes down and tells me that I need these cutouts. And I'm going to use the opens white circles or hexagons. Can you see that with the glare? Are the dimensionals, which are these. Whoops. And these darker dots are the glue dots, which are these. Okay. Then it's also going to tell you you're going to need some twine, tell you how much to cut and make it into a bow, and where to place that. It's also going to tell us that we need dimensionals on the back of this white piece, this piece that we are going to stamp on. Okay. So what I did was I stamped my happy birthday image on my arc here, my little banner. I stamped my balloons. Then I took my 3 balloons, I put dimensionals on the back, and I put those down. I started with the center one, and then I kind of slipped these 2 side balloons on top. Took glue dots and took the banner and put the glue dots in the center just because my sides are free because it's already popped up with these balloons. Okay, took a glue dot and made my bow. Put dimensionals on the back of this and put it down, and voila, you got yourself a card. Now the cards also come with the coordinating envelopes. So which envelope am I missing? This one. So these 3 envelopes come with the set. So you can pick and choose whatever envelope you like. I happen to think this one goes best with this, but again, that is totally up to you. Okay. All right, so that is the first card that we're making. So I'm going to put that to the side. Okay, so the next card we're going to be making is this card. Okay, now this card, take out the pieces that we're going to need for this. Okay, this card is going to need this piece, and now when you get the sheet, there's 3 of them, and this is actually a sticker, so you're going to need that. This we're going to need for the next card. You're going to need this pink piece that we're going to stamp on. You're going to need this candle that we're going to stamp on, and you're going to need this fork, which we're going to glue on. Okay. You're also going to need these. Now this comes just like this, so you're going to pop out 1 for each of them. I already did that. So we're going to grab these 3 over here. Okay. And we're going to get started. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take our 3 pieces and we're going to kind of line them up where we want to. Now they tell you to put dimensionals on the back of these. Not dimensionals, I'm sorry, glue dots on the back of these, but I am actually going to use my adhesive for these. Okay, I'm going to do the top and I'm going to do the bottom. Now you can see there's a slanted side to this. That's where I'm going to line it up to make the slice, you know, the fillings of my cake. I'm going to do the top one next. And then I'm going to put this sprinkle section in the center. You can line it up however you want. You can tell that each side is slanted. One looks a little bit more slanted to me than the other, and that's the side that I'm using, but it really doesn't matter. Okay. Okay, so there's our cards starting to come together. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to take your sticker. Now you're just going to take your sticker and carefully pull it off, making sure that you leave those negative spaces there because you don't want them on your card because it would look funny. And it's like the little dots and stuff inside the O and the A. And we're going to put this right about here. And again, it's a sticker, so you can just put it down. No adhesive is needed. I'm going to need my little fork. And I'm going to adhere that right there. So I'm going to take some glue dots. I am going to take my paper piercer. This is sharp on one end. And then there's a putty-filled one, so I can actually pick something up if I like. Okay, so I'm going to use the sharp end, and I'm just going to take my glue dots, slide it underneath, put one there, slide it underneath, put one there. It's just a little bit easier for me to use instead of my fingers. And then I'm going to just take the backings off of this. And I'm going to slide that right about there. Okay, now let's do a little stamping. Again, you're going to get this in your kit. I like to use my larger pads. I do like to save these for traveling or, you know, with crops and things like that, or giveaways, prizes for my customers, that type of thing. So we're just going to open this up, grab my candle and this one. All right, so on the stamp set you're actually going to get, you're going to get 2 stamp sets in here. And this is the artwork for each stamp set. It comes like this. Okay. And as you can see, I've used some of them, and I have a lot of them that are on blocks ready for us. So these are all the stamps that we're going to use for the kit. These are add-ons that you can use to personalize your kit. So I'm going to grab the smallest candle. Okay. Now you want to try to use as least amount of pressure because you don't want ink all over your block. Now Stampin' Up's going to give you this size block, and obviously this is way smaller than this acrylic block, but if you do have other blocks, feel free to use them because obviously the smaller the block, or I should say the smaller the stamp, the smaller the block, right? You want the block and the stamp to be about the same size so you don't get a lot of extra ink on things. Okay. And then we're going to stamp Time for Cake. Where is that? It's Time for Cake, so I'm going to stamp this. With the photopolymer stamps, it just means that it's clear, so I can actually see right through to see if I have enough ink on my stamp. And then when I go to stamp, I can actually see exactly where I am stamping. So it helps line up that stamp on the piece of paper that you're stamping on. Perfect. Okay. And to clean my stamps, I just use this chamois. You could use like a sponge or something that doesn't have fibers in it. I would not recommend using baby wipes or paper towels because they do get fibrous and they do get all over your stamps. It leaves like almost like a residue type thing. All right, so we're going to take this. Now again, you know, using our directions if we need them, it tells us whether we need dimensionals or glue dots, okay? So here we are going to use dimensionals. So I'm going to turn this over and put 3 dimensionals, one in the center, one on each end. And then I'm going to put 2 dimensionals on here. Okay. I can use my paper piercing tool to take those off as well. Oops. I'm going to flip that over. I'm just kind of put this right about there. And I'm going to take my candle, take the backings off of here. And the backings are not hard to take off. Depending on how small things are, sometimes I think it's easier with the paper piercing tool, but totally again up to you. I'm going to put my candle there. And voila, you have your second card. So these are great to do with kids or, you know, older adults who like to craft. Perfect opportunity. Okay, so that's the second card we made. Now, the third card we're going to, and Stampin' Up! Does give you some extras of things, so you can always hold on to those for another card or another project that you're making. No worries. So the next card we're going to make, we're going to get this piece. We need 3 of our candles. So I do have some extra candles left over. Okay. We're going to need 1 of these, so I do have 1 of these left over. Now this is your card backing or your card base. You're going to notice that it's not folded piece. This card is actually going to be, when you turn it over, you can write on here, put your sentiments or your whatever you want to say. So I'll show you when it's assembled how it's going to look, but don't look for the crease or the fold because there is none in here, okay? Now, for this card, it does show you the directions. And you're going to, when you fold the card, I'm going to show you an easy way to fold it. When I first did this, I was so confused. It took me a longest time to figure it out. But if I had just followed the directions, I think I would have been much better off. But I don't know. Maybe, you know, being a teacher and being off for 9 weeks in a row, my mind's gone. But super simple, easy way to do it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to stamp all of our stuff to get that out of the way. Okay, so you're going to see we're going to stamp Make a Wish on our tag. We're going to stamp those candles again, and then we also have to stamp 2 candles on that white piece. Okay, so we're going to stamp our candles first. Grab that little candle that we had again. And we're going to stamp 1. 2 and 3. Okay. We're going to find Make-A-Wish, and we're going to stamp. I'm just going to pop that little extra piece out. We're going to stamp that right on there. So in my Night of Navy ink again, and Night of Navy is what you use for everything, unless you want to use something different. If you have other ink colors and you want to use them, feel free. Make-A-Wish. Okay. And then we're just going to push those to the side. I'm going to pull this out. Now, you need the small one and the medium one on one block. So I'm going to grab the small one again, and I'm going to take the medium one, and I'm going to put that on my block. And if you notice, they're a little bit slanted, so I'm going to make this a little bit more slanted. Okay, so if you notice here, and when I flip them over, oops, I did it again. I did this on the other video too. You want the, when you flip this over, you're going to want this one here and this one here. So when you flip them over, it looks exactly like that, okay? So okay. So I'm going to ink that up. And I'm just going to kind of center it right in the middle. And there you have it. Okay. Now, the other thing that you're going to need is you're going to need this little starburst. It's actually like the flicker from the candle. So you're going to ink that up, and you're going to line that up right with the edge of that candle. Stamp that. And you're going to stamp that. Okay. So that is that. And then the last thing you're going to need is you're going to need lost count. So you can see you're going to stamp that. So you see how it has every stamp and it shows you exactly with the arrows where to stamp things. Okay, so we're going to stamp that right underneath those two candles. Okay. All right, now I'm going to close this up so I'm not getting any more ink on anything. And what we are going to do is we are going to fold our card. So I have it completely open. Now, if you follow the directions, you're just going to go right or left. So you're going to start with number 1. When I first started, I started on this end, and I think that's what confused me so much. Again, don't do what I did. Do it the way I'm showing you now. Okay? So you're going to start here. These are all pre-scored. Okay? So you're going to start with this one between the white and the blue, and you're going to fold it to the right. So now you have this piece. And again, if you have a bone folder, I would give that a good creasing because it just makes your card lay flatter when you're done. Then you're going to go to the next one, and you're going to fold that to the left. So you have this. That should already be folded because it was folded in the box to make sure it fit in the box. Next, you're going to go to the next one. You're going to fold it to the right. Now, this time, it's not going to line up with the edge of your card. So, as you can see, here's the edge of my card, and that's the way it should be. This is correct, okay? You have one more. You're going to fold that to the left and give that a crease. Okay, so you should be left with this. So again, I can show you. Oh, I got a little glue on my card there. All right, so I'll show you one more time just because I think it's easier to see, okay? Again, you have the folds. You're going to fold to the right, to the left, to the right, to the left. And this is what you should be left with. Okay, now what you're going to do is you're going to take your twine, and it does tell you where's my twine? Okay, it does tell you about 18 inches of twine. I think that's a little big, but you do what works for you. Okay. So I'm just going to kind of, I mean, this bottom of my paper pumpkin, if I go side, let's see if I go side to side, it's not even in the camera, but that's about 16. I think that's more than enough. So that's what I'm going to cut. And again, you can see I've now made all 9 cards and I still have some twine left over. So you do have enough. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to take your dimensionals. And it shows you that they want you to put dimensionals on the back of this. Okay? So we're going to put some dimensionals on here. This is where, I mean, and again, they give you smaller dimensionals because of the candles and things like that. But if you had larger dimensionals, those would work too, and I don't think you would need as many. They tell you to put 4 on each side. Again, totally up to you. I think if you had done 3, 3, and maybe 2, I think you'd be fine, but oops, I don't want to jump out. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I am going to take my adhesive, and they don't tell you to do this. I just think it's easier. I'm going to give a little bit of adhesive on either side of those. Can you see that? Whoops, where's my camera? Can you see that? And I think it just helps hold the twine in place. Okay. Now obviously you want to center this so it's easier to, you're going to press down because it is silvery, like it's got a glossy thing. All right, so we're going to turn this over. And you should have this. You're going to take your Make Your Wish, and on the left side of the string, you're going to put this through here. There's already a little hole. Just punch out that negative space. Okay. Now, we're going to put dimensionals on the back of these. Ignore my little measurements here. I was making another card and I wrote it down there and I totally didn't realize it until before. I was making an A1 size card. I've never made an A1 size card, but it's like a note card size. I just couldn't figure out the measurement. So once I figured it out, I wrote it down. I have to say measuring was never my thing in school or even as an adult until I started crafting, believe it or not. And then once I started crafting, it was a little bit easier to figure things out. Like the 1/8, oh, don't even get me started. Okay, so as you can see, it's going to tell us where to put it. So we're going to put this one right here. And then I'm going to open this up. Move this down so you can see it as I'm talking. All right, so you're going to need 3 candles. You're going to need 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. We already did this one, so if I open this up, may have to adjust that string again. Okay, you may want to even put this together before you fold it. Sometimes I think it's easier that way, but again, totally up to you. And you have 3 to make, so you can figure it out as you go. All right, so this one is going to go right about here. So this one right here is going to go right about here. And this other one just taking the backings off, is going to go, so this one is going to go right about here. Okay, so now when you fold it up, bring your tag around. I kind of like to tuck my tag in underneath the candle. Now, another thing, if you don't want your tag to move, you can put a little bit of adhesive or a glue dot or something on it. Okay. You have a glue dot, so I probably should have used the glue dot, but and then you can kind of, and then this way it doesn't move, and this kind of keeps the string intact too. So again, totally up to you. And you're going to tie this into a bow. So just like you were tying a shoelace. Okay. Now, making bows sometimes is a little hard for people. I know a lot of my customers get frustrated and they'll say, "Oh, can you just make it for me?" I think the biggest thing with making a bow is that you just have to have a little bit of patience, and you kind of have to make it work for you. Now, with this twine, it is a little, it has like a coarseness to it, but it's not really coarse. So it is a little bit easier to tie and keep things in place because of that coarseness, but I'm just going to trim my tails. I am going to leave them a little long just because of the card. You know, the card size is a little bit with the tag, and you want to be able to open it again. Okay, so my tails are kind of wanting to go this way, which I don't have a problem with, but it looks like my bow's upside down. So if I really want to, I can just kind of pull them underneath. Grab this other one. And as you can see, it does a little bit better. Okay, then what we're going to do is we are going to take the dimensionals off the back of our card. I'm going to use my paper piercer just to get this go a little bit. Sometimes they want to come off nice and easy, other times they're a little more stubborn. I'm just going to adjust that. And you're going to take that card base, you get this out of the way so you can see. All right, and you're just going to center that in the middle of your card. Okay. And then when you open this up, oh, I got stuck. So when you glue this down, make sure it is, you don't have the what do you call it, the twine in the way. Okay, so when you open this up, here's your card. Okay, so, and that's another reason why I actually glue it down, because it comes off easily when you open it. So when you do this, like I said, just make sure the glue is kind of the tag is kind of in one way or the other. You can actually insert it from the back, and that'll help you with that. Okay, see? All right, I'm just gonna tie this one up again. So these are the 3 cards that you'll be making in this kit. You make 3 of each, and you have the coordinating envelopes for each card. So again, these were the 3 cards that we made. Okay, and these were the envelopes. So you can pick and choose how you want to kind of coordinate it. I kind of feel like this one goes with this blue, so that's how I did that one. I felt like this one would coordinate with this, and then this pink one would kind of coordinate with this. But again, it's totally up to you how you want to do it. This is how I like to store my cards too. I just open them up and slide them in, so everything is together with the envelope, and I'm all ready to go. So all I need to do is when I have a birthday or something, I just have to pull out a card in my card stash. So thank you so much for joining us. If you are interested in Paper Pumpkin and you haven't subscribed yet, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to get that going for you. If you would like a catalog, please let me know. The new catalog, the mini catalog for Christmas and the holidays, is coming out in September, so look for that. I did show in a previous video what it looks like. I can't show you the inside, but this is the new catalog, so if you're interested in that, please let me know. It runs September to December. Please like, share, and comment on my video, and I wish everybody a wonderful day. Take care. See you soon.